the infamous Purple Gang, one of the most notorious gangs of Detroit history, and also Jewish. During the 1920s, members of this gang controlled the illegal importation of alcohol across the Canadian border during Prohibition. Many historians believed that at the close of Prohibition with the 21st Amendment, leaders of this gang formed the foundation of the famous gambling city of Las Vegas. This, however, is false. These men and women remained in the Metro Detroit area, underground, moving and dispersing amongst the Oak Park and West Bloomfield areas. Over the past century, these infamous criminal organizations have split, forming many of the gangs with which we are familiar today. This is the story of their conflicts. The Tallis gang, known at the time as the Mechitza gang, and the Eagle gang, both really formed their roots back in the year 2000. While their battleground, the Jewish Academy of Metropolitan Detroit, was still in its foundation at the trailer park. Both gangs were extremely new and weak. Therefore, they experienced very little conflict with the other.
They used to call me the homie. Times sure were peaceful back then, but I always knew that our differences would pit us against each other.
The real conflict finally began in the year 2004. Senior pranks, a tradition that is carried out in many schools, in many countries, and until today. The 2004 senior prank was the spark of war between these two gangs. While the Jews traveled the desert, Moses ascended Mount Sinai, and the Jewish community below began to panic, melting their gold and constructing and worshiping a golden heifer, or the golden calf. This was echoed in the 2004 senior prank, where the senior student members of the Franco-Jewish Academy constructed a golden calf and placed it outside the school. To the Mechitza gang, this was a humorous, negligible act that provided no offense. But to the Eagle gang, this was an irreparable offense. This dispute sparked the violent, deadly conflict that continued until this day.
This is going to be anonymous, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, frankly, I found this prank obtrusive and offensive. They used way too much aluminium. It took longer to get to my Marmite, and it was on top of a squirrel's nest.
As the conflict drew nearer to modern times, it began to die down. In the 2011-2012 school year, the Tallis gang reached its peak. By comparison, the Eagle gang was beginning to wither. Clinging on to their last few remnants, Eagle struggled for survival.
Yeah, back in 2011, 2012, nah man, I would never have joined Eagle. Are you crazy, man? Like, that was so lame and conformist then. Like, totally not swag, bro.
But a young new face arrived to save the Eagle gang. In 2008, future Eagle savior Jonathan Pachter arrived for his first semester at the Franco-Jewish Academy. With wit beyond measure and brilliance beyond compare, Pachter was unaware of his role in this conflict. He brought new melodies to the Amira and engaged the gang in black market phylactery and kippah sales. His actions saved the Eagle gang from total destruction and brought them to their peak, which occurred the year afterwards in 2012-2013, which in some part was assisted by the disappearance of the Tallis gang, which many attribute to Pachter.
Jonathan was always a little radical for my taste, but he got the job done. Frankly, my father was an Eagle man, and I was sad to see the Eagle minion fall so far.
This brings us to present-day FJA, a prosperous, economically forward community. The Tallis gang's reign may have faded, but rumors circulate that they are silently preparing for a comeback. In the meantime, the Eagle gang remains at the top of this conflict, basking in their success and glory. They succeeded in winning the Hoshana Rabbah Bowl in October of 2013.
That was great! I thought it was going to be super awkward, but we actually won. All aspects of our team were really aligned, and they let us win cohortatively. Yeah.
This conflict was a small piece of a much larger puzzle. Join us next week as we explore the Hillel Akiva conflict on FJA Gang Wars.